Daniel was a young Hebrew noble taken into captivity when King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon conquered Jerusalem around 605 BCE. Along with other intelligent and capable youths, Daniel was selected to be trained for service in the Babylonian king's court. Daniel and his friends, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, later called Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, were chosen to be educated in Babylonian language and literature. They were offered rich food and wine from the king's table, but Daniel resolved not to defile himself with it. Instead, they requested a simple diet of vegetables and water. God blessed their faithfulness, and they appeared healthier than the others. Daniel was also given the special gift of understanding visions and dreams. King Nebuchadnezzar had a troubling dream and demanded that his wise men not only interpret the dream, but tell him what it was. None could do it except Daniel. Daniel prayed, and God revealed the dream, a great statue made of various materials, gold, silver, bronze, iron, and clay, symbolizing successive kingdoms. A stone, not cut by human hands, destroyed the statue, symbolizing God's eternal kingdom. Nebuchadnezzar was amazed and elevated Daniel to a high position in the kingdom. Nebuchadnezzar built a giant golden statue and demanded all people bow to it. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refused, staying loyal to God. They were thrown into a fiery furnace, but miraculously they were unharmed, and a fourth figure, like a son of the gods, appeared with them. The king was astonished and praised their God, declaring that no other god could save like theirs. The king had another dream of a great tree that was chopped down. Daniel interpreted it as a warning. Nebuchadnezzar would lose his mind and live like an animal until he acknowledged God's sovereignty. This came true. The king went mad for 7 years but was restored after he praised the Most High. He ended by glorifying God. Years later, King Belshazzar, Nebuchadnezzar's successor, hosted a blasphemous feast using vessels from the Jerusalem temple. A mysterious hand appeared and wrote on the wall, Mene, Mene, Tekel, Parsin. Daniel interpreted the writing. God had numbered Belshazzar's days. He had been weighed and found wanting, and his kingdom would be divided. That night, Babylon fell to the Medes and Persians, and Belshazzar was killed under King Darius. Daniel rose to prominence. Jealous officials tricked the king into issuing a decree banning prayer to anyone but the king for 30 days. Daniel continued to pray to God. He was thrown into a lion's den, but God shut the lions' mouths. Daniel was unharmed. The king rejoiced, punished the conspirators, and honored Daniel's God. The second half of the book of Daniel contains apocalyptic visions given to Daniel. 4 beasts, representing empires that rise and fall, ending with God's kingdom. Ram and goat, symbolizing the Medo-Persian and Greek empires. 70 weeks prophecy, a complex timeline pointing to the coming of an anointed one. Final vision, a heavenly messenger reveals future struggles, a great resurrection, and the triumph of the righteous. These visions emphasize God's sovereignty over history and the final victory of his kingdom.